It's Monday. What is it? Monday, July 6th. And it's time for evening devotions. I'm Pastor Trish, and I serve at Messiah Lutheran in North Mankato. So glad to have you joining me for a few moments. We have been walking through, praying through the Psalms. And this evening we are on Psalm 31. It's a little bit longer psalm. Psalm 31 is a psalm asking for help, and that it also declares uh, God's trust in God, as well as declares thanksgiving for God for deliverance and protection. What's interesting about Psalm 31 is that it starts and then it almost like restarts. You will hear the cry for help and then understanding God's saving power and proclaiming trust in God and asking for thanksgiving, and then it starts over again. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we are done, but let me begin as we pray the psalm together. In you, O Lord, I seek refuge. Do not let me ever be put to shame. In your righteousness, deliver me. Incline your ear to me, rescue me speedily. Be a rock of refuge for me, a strong fortress to save me. Those are just two verses, but as you can hear, the psalmist is asking for a lot in those two verses. Asking to seek refuge, asking not to be put to shame, asking for deliverance, asking to be heard, asking to be rescued quickly, again, asking for refuge and asking God to be a strong fortress. I lost track how many things that psalmist was asking for in just those two verses. And then the psalmist goes on with that declaration of trust. You are indeed my rock and my fortress. For your name's sake, lead me and guide me. Take me out of the net that is hidden from me, for you are my refuge. Into your hand I commit my spirit. You have redeemed me, O Lord, faithful God. And that verse, of course, you have heard somebody else say at another time on the cross, right? We go on. You hate those who pay regard to worthless idols, but I trust in the Lord. I will exult and rejoice in your steadfast love, because you have seen my affliction, and you have taken heed of my adversaries, and have not delivered me into the hand of the enemy. Instead, you have set my feet in a broad place. It sounds like the psalm is coming to an end, but this is where the psalmist starts over again. Be gracious to me, O Lord, for I am in distress. My eye wastes away from grief, my soul and body also. For my life is spent with sorrow, and my years with sighing. My strength fails because of my misery, and my bones waste away. I am the scorn of all my adversaries, a horror to my neighbors, an object of dread to my acquaintances. Those who see me in the street flee from me. I have passed out of mind like one who is dead. I have become like a broken vessel, for I hear the whispering of many, terror all around, as they scheme together against me, as they plot to take my life. But here comes the trust again. But I trust in you, O Lord. I say, you are my God. My times are in your hand. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies and persecutors. Let your face shine upon your servant. Save me in your steadfast love. Do not let me be put to shame, O Lord, for I call on you. Let the wicked be put to shame. Let them go dumbfounded to Sheol. Let the lying lips be stilled that speak insolently against the righteous with pride and contempt. Oh, how abundant is your goodness that you have laid up for those who fear you, and accomplished for those who take refuge in you, in the sight of everyone. In the shelter of your presence, you hide them from human plots. You hold them safe under your shelter from contentious tongues. Blessed be the Lord, for he has wonderfully shown his steadfast love to me when I was beset as a city under siege. I had said in my alarm, I am driven far from your sight, but you heard my supplication when I cried out to you for help. Love the Lord, all you saints. The Lord preserves the faithful and abundantly repays the one who acts haughtily. Be strong and let your heart take courage, all you who wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage, all you who wait for the Lord. I want to take us back for just a moment about how the psalm goes kind of in and out, asking for help. Oh, wait, but I trust in you, God, and you've heard my plea, and then that thanksgiving. And I loved what this particular commentator, her name is Beth Tanner, says about that. She says, often we this back and forth may not always make sense to our more modern way of thinking, she says. But as much as we want to believe otherwise, our lives do not unfold in logical order. We can feel like we're being rescued one moment and feel like we are in deep darkness and terror the next. She says things happen that we do not expect, and faith and doubt are part of that cycle. We can believe one moment and know that our lives, both physical and spiritual, belong to God's faithful hands, and the next second feel alone and full of doubt and hurt. This psalm tells us about the reality in our lives. It might be two different occurrences the psalmist is talking about. It might be one, but that trust and security, and at the same time, doubt and fear can easily be intermingled. Perhaps you've experienced something like that in your life. Perhaps you are experiencing it now. I hope and pray that this psalm can give you comfort and hope no matter what's going on in your life these days. Have a good night, and we will see you again tomorrow.